by the nickel for every time someone asks me for an affordable test instead of these expensive tests. I'd be a rich man. But unfortunately, these tests do cost a fortune because they are not government subsidized in any way. These are private labs spending millions of dollars on sensitive equipment to get us this data. So I'm torn because I hate the price, but I love the data, and I think the information we can get to find out what's wrong with us is worth the horrible price that it costs. Because save my money and not know what's wrong with me, that doesn't help anyone. So anyway, Marguerite asks, is there an affordable test for mold toxicity in the body, also for the home? Okay, so let's start with the body. So obviously you've heard me a million times. The urine mycotoxins lab is the best option for looking for mycotoxins in the body. It's measuring mycotoxins being excreted through the kidneys. Some go to the kidneys, some go to bile, but that's where we're measuring. And it's not cheap. It's like $500, okay, for that mycotoxins lab. Now, is there an affordable test? Kind of, okay. You can go to, what's the visual contrast test? So that is, let me see, vcstest.com. That's a visual contrast test. Sorry. So as you have biotoxin illness, that can affect your brain, I don't know if it's affecting the optical nerve, what it is affecting, but your ability to see and measure contrast starts to slip. And this visual contrast test, I don't know why that's a mouthful for me. Visual contrast test will give you a test on the screen. It's like $10 or $15, something. It's cheap. And it has you click left or right. What are you seeing when you look at this? Okay, so there's a little bit of setup. You have to measure your face distance from the screen. Do it on a computer, not on a phone. And at the end, it'll give you your results. And you can see if you failed this contrast test. So some people use that as a first step. And it's very cheap. Would I put a lot of faith in that? No, not personally, but it is a cheap first step. And that's measuring biotoxin illness. It doesn't necessarily mean mold. You could have biotoxin illness from Lyme disease too, right? So, but that's kind of the very, very cheap way of doing it. The other good way is to find someone that can muscle test you. Like that's what I did with our son, Isaac. Our medical system had no idea. Spent 9 months just getting beat up in our medical system. And I ordered a $90 Lyme vial kit from Ergopathics. And it cost me $90 in 5 minutes. And I knew that Isaac had Borrelia, Babesia, Bartonella, deer tick virus, which is Powassan virus lineage 2, blah, 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 blah. I just muscle test them. So if you can find someone local that does muscle testing and has a kit for Lyme disease, that would be a very good option, because I prefer energetic modalities anytime over everything else, because the body is so sensitive to frequencies and energy. So that's the other thing. As for a home test, you can try plate testing, where you put the plates out. There's a million reasons those can be inaccurate though. Outside of that, you're going to an ERMI. Okay, I'll try to remember to put a link to those with this video, but there's no real good way there. Besides, you can try it, but if the plates come back clear, does that mean there's not a mold problem? To me, no. Okay, because there's so many variables that can make those wrong. All right, Marguerite, I hope that helps.
Do you have questions about mold in your home or body? Book a consultation with Matt, aka the Mold Man, to guide your home and body to the next level of healing.